the agenda here.
Yep, I can start it.
Okay.
We'll call the Prosser School District Board of Directors special meeting to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
Been moved in second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consent items. Call for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll
So
make a
moved.
motion. I'll make a motion. We approve the consent items.
Elisa made the motion. Jeannie, you want to second?
Okay, I'll second. Sorry.
All right. Been moved in second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried. Action items. Vouchers. Do we have any questions, concerns on the vouchers?
I had one on it's ending in 548, the check to Fowler, $109,000. Amy, what's their contract say with paying that? Due on demand or due within 30 days?
I can look up the language. It's usually 30 days, but I can double check that.
My comment on that is, they've reduced the crew that's working at Heights, and we're so behind. We have a temporary occupation permit. Dan Purfoy's comment at the last meeting about, the contractors saying they're not making any money on this. But we're behind, and we're not, I feel like at this point we haven't pushed back at all, and maybe holding a check and saying, what can we expect? When will you be done? Bring back your whole crew and get this done.
I would
Yeah,
agree with that, Lisa. I think it's time to hold their feet to the fire a little bit.
Yeah, we need to show them some teeth. This is just going to go on forever otherwise.
Deanna and Dan were,
Exactly.
in fact, we all were in a meeting yesterday, and Deanna and Dan were really pushing Fowler. The idea of, we aren't making any money, that's no fault of Prosser School District.
No.
We didn't bid the project. They bid it, they committed to it. And so if they're going to make a commitment, then, that's their own poor accounting and bidding in that process. So, we need to finalize this thing, and I think it's overdue. And if we need to be more aggressive with them, I think that, we start conversations, and they can be tame at the very beginning, but if we don't see action, we need to let CSG know that we're increasingly being frustrated. In fact, I expressed that to them. I said, our board's asking, and there are no more answers. We have no more answers as to why this isn't it's poor business is what it boils down to, unfortunately. So, Deanna, do you have anything to add on that?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say, so one thing about the payments, Dan does verify that everything that's on the payment has been done. He does a very detailed confirmation before we pay them. But yeah, it's like, I sat in the meeting yesterday, and everything is like, oh, we'll check on that, or we'll check on that. And Dan and I are both like, you've been saying you're going to check on this for weeks, and then we don't have an answer. And it is very frustrating because there's a lackadaisical response to things. Their commitment is finishing everything up during Christmas break. That's here, but of course we still seem to have supply chain issues related to their ordering processes. But I don't know what we legally can do, but I do think we should do something aggressive to try to get them to get their act together.
Well, and the supply chain issue doesn't explain why they've taken so many crew members off the site and put them somewhere else. I mean, they be there working. They could be doing something, like somebody could be repairing
Well,
back. So
the
we don't have,
the principals have pushed back on them being there disrupting learning. So they have limited their access to areas of the school that would disrupt student learning, because it is a problem. And so they've been bringing some people in at, like after student hours. And there are certain things that we have told them to wait on until Christmas break because it's so disruptive to the kids. So, we have to preserve our student learning, but we also need to push them like get this done. They don't want to, I don't think they want to be here anymore either. And I don't know. There just isn't any fire under them.
I would say that, we had that discussion with Jody about if we can push through and it's quicker, then we can get that done and then that's off the table. And I get the whole student learning argument, but what I know about the board that we're working for now is that this board is about accountability, right? And so we have a construction company that nobody's holding accountable for any of their work. If I have that wrong, please correct me, but that's my understanding of, kind of some of the desires of the board. And then it's just, I think poor craftsmanship at the very end, at the end of that discussion. It's like, well, can't you do your job and finish your job? We had no issues with Churbanel and we still don't, right? And so that's a customer service question right there. Is it, we've asked them to finish up. They've held us out of schools. We barely got into schools and they're continuing to do it. And so I don't know if we contact our legal team or ask what we can do in this whole process with Dan and then say, we want to do that to hold their feet to the fire. I don't know, other thoughts?
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I do think it's appropriate that we pull this check from the vouchers and wait till the next meeting until we actually get some answers.
I
That's my
agree.
personal opinion.
I
Okay.
agree.
May I ask, just for clarification purposes, if there's any late fees associated with not getting that payment to them on time, are we okay with, we could go back and go through our legal team to fight those, but if that ends up being the case, are you still okay with pulling this invoice?
I am
Amy-
okay with pulling it, and as far as late fees, we just don't pay them,
I agree.
and then we fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So I will, I'll have Lori pull those from the vouchers then.
So do we need a motion?
We will, yes.
I would move that we approve the vouchers except for voucher 200000548 to Fowler General Construction dated November 30th, 2022 in the amount of $109,026.61.
I'll second that. So we got a motion and a second to approve vouchers. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item up for is discussion, student board representatives, and schedule interviews.
Yeah, we have some students who are interested in being a part of this dialogue. And so I guess the question is, interviewing those students, is the board okay setting up are you guys okay with setting up a meeting, like a special meeting before a meeting for the purpose of interviewing, or us trying to find a time, hopefully before Christmas break, that we can interview and then notify and swear these students in as board reps to provide voice.
What kind of time?
Is there any reason why we couldn't just wait till our next regular meeting or the work session in December?
Yeah, we can. Usually the interviewing and discussion, you can interview them in public. It would be a public meeting. Usually the board would go into an executive session to discuss the interviews and kind of strengths and weaknesses and how many board reps they want. And then usually a decision is expressed one way or the other. And we move through that. So just it depends on how you want to construct it. As far as the meetings are concerned and how you want to go through the process, whether you want it to be a part of a meeting, you know, kind of as a, you know, maybe we can schedule it into a meeting, or we can schedule like a standalone meeting where there's interviews and we go, you know, you guys have an opportunity to deliberate.
How much time do we allow for each interview?
Like half hour or so.
Hour.
Enough for you to get to know the student, ask some
Mhm.
questions,
Okay.
get to know if they'd be a good fit and if they'd be willing to commit the dates. One of the issues with this is we've had students who were so heavily involved in activities that sometimes them attending the meetings hit and miss.
How many applicants are there?
3, from my understanding.
I would say we either put it at our next work session, which is December 21st, I believe, which is during Christmas break, so that we may have kids out of town. Maybe we should put it to the first work session in January.
Okay.
Elisa, did you say the work session was the 21st?
Is that wrong?
Oh, no, you're right. I was looking at my calendar on this. Nope, you're right. Yeah, I would either be okay with that or making it the first meeting in December.
That's a good idea too.
All right.
Any other
Well,
thoughts, G?
Yeah, let me look at that. I can pretty much make about anything. Let me look at December. Okay, yeah, I just have 2 dates in December that I couldn't make, the 9th and the 14th, and well, 3 dates, and the 14th and 15th. Other than that, I can make any time that we want to schedule it.
Should we plan for the 7th of December?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
That way we can get it done before the first of the year.
all right. All right. We'll definitely do that. That's all we had.
Pearl Harbor Day.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments, questions?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, with that, I wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And our
Thank you.
thank you. And our next regular meeting will be December 14th, Prosser High School Library Workroom at 6 p.m. With that, I'll adjourn this meeting.
Thank you. Happy
Okay.
Thanksgiving,
Thank you.
everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.